Hello, everybody. Hello, let's see if I'm live. Looks promising. It says I'm live, so I'm just going to start. Oh, there we are. Yay! I can see that I'm live. Hey, everyone. How are you? Happy Thursday morning. Oh, my goodness. I cannot believe that it is Thursday morning already. Dead set. That's like, oh, my God. The week is going very fast. Hey, guys. Hello, everyone. My name is Ali Sugars, if you don't know who this weird lady is. And I am the founder and the principal of the Heart and Soul Business Academy, everybody, and where we have a real passion for helping you to build, grow, and scale your business. Whether you are someone who is just starting out in business and you're wanting some support, you're needing guidance where to go, whether you are someone who's in a day job and you're really wanting to quit and run your own business, or whether you're someone who's maybe been in business for a little while and you're just not getting the results that you desire. We are here to help you guys. So this is what the Heart and Soul Business Academy is all about. And over these lives that I'm doing, on the Thursday lives, we're going to come live and pick a topic to have a chat about, right? Oh, I can just see I've got a little bit of an echo. There we go. So the topic that I want to talk about today is accountability. Accountability in business. Now, before we get going, guys, if you are watching live, say g'day. Just see if I can see your comments. Why can't I see comments? I didn't think to set that up, did I? Anyway, hopefully I'll be able to see your comments as they come up. If you're popping on live, say g'day. If you are watching the replay, pop hashtag replay. Oh, I can see your comments. There they are. Hello, Janelle. How are you, darling? All right. So, like I mentioned, we're going to talk accountability in business this morning. Now, and I don't want to just have this me talking. I really want people to give me your opinions and your thoughts in the chat. Hello. Good morning, Susie Manley. Morning, Sugar Sniffer. Sugar sniffer. There's no point sniffing sugar. You're going to eat it. Hey, Helen. How are you, darling? So I want you to tell me, have you ever had a day job? And have you ever had a boss that you worked for? And did that boss, that manager, whatever you want to call them, that CEO in the business that you worked in, did they keep you accountable for what you were responsible for in your job? Or did you keep yourself accountable for making sure that you got that job done to the best of your ability? Yep, and yep. There you go, Susie. Yes. Hello, Sandy. I can see you're watching as well. So I ask this for a reason, okay? So I think what a lot of people, when we come into business, and this was me 100%, right? Yes, and yes. You too, Helen, right? When we come into business, we come in with this idea that we can do whatever we want, whenever we want, right? There's this whole thing out there that goes with, the laptop lifestyle and the freedom of running your own business and getting to do things when and how and, doing it your way and all of that type of stuff, right? Now, here's where I have discovered that the accountability comes in. And this is where I personally struggled when I first started running my own businesses, right? My first ever business that I helped run was with my kid's dad. And that was a roof tiling business. You were hiding, doing your face. That was a roof tiling business where I did all the administration for it. And, we went into that business thinking exactly what I just said, thinking that we could do things in our own time, run our own lifestyle, we'd be millionaires, all of that type of stuff. Guys, that never happened. We had to, in essence, have at least twice as much accountability in life for ourselves, for our personal time, and for our business. Because to make it succeed, we had to put the time in, right? And this is where I kind of, I figured it out. Hello, Claire Williams. I think I've figured it out, right? Not saying I'm a genius, but I think I've figured it out. In business, we have to be hold ourselves so much more accountable than we ever did in our day jobs. Because we had someone else, if we didn't do the right thing, then someone else would pull us up on it, right? If we got slack, then someone else would pull us up on it. We had someone, a manager, a boss, whoever, to help keep us accountable. In business, who is the main person, and I want you to answer this in the chat, who's the main person in your business who's responsible for keeping you accountable? Let me know in the chat. I know. I know who is in my business, and it's not my VA. It's not any of my clients. The main person who is responsible for keeping me accountable in my business is me. And I find that sometimes when I say, exactly, Claire, me, that's right. I find that sometimes when I say that to people, they go, oh, oh, because there is this whole thing of people talking about, and probably less so now, I think, but there's still this anticipation out there of this laptop lifestyle where we can have all the freedom that we want, right? And we can just work on, Catherine, hey Catherine, how you going? Where we can just work on what we want, whenever we want, blah, blah, blah. So that is right. We guys are responsible for keeping ourselves accountable in our business. But something, pardon me, something that I always say is that just because we are, generally starting out our businesses and we are the boss, we are the leader, and most of the time, unless you're starting a big company, we are the sole traders. We are the only people working in our business and on our business to make it succeed. Just because we're running our business by ourselves does not mean we have to do it by ourselves, right? There are other ways to help keep ourselves accountable. And I want you to tell me in the chat, because like I said, I want this to be a discussion, right? Tell me in the chat some ways that you think that we can do that. And maybe tell me, before you do that actually, maybe tell me some ways that you think that you need to be held accountable in business. One thing for me, and this is huge, this is a big one for me, right, is I want people those closest to me to help hold me accountable for procrastination, right? Accountability partner, absolutely, Susie. I am one of the worst people for procrastination, like dead set, it's shocking. And so getting a VA, absolutely. And when I procrastinate, there's two things that we can do here, right? When we procrastinate, we can either just go and do it. We can have a nap, we can go watch Netflix, we can jump on a call with someone, and there's someone here, there's someone watching this and they know who they are. There's probably two people and they know who they are, who I like to procrastinate with occasionally. And I sometimes it's for mental health and I just let myself do it. I will literally say, I'm procrastinating. Do you want to just jump on the Zoom call? Right? And we do. But also, it's not just that procrastination. It's also we're talking about business. It is a little bit of mental health because we're stepping away from the business. We're stepping away from that stress. But there is a time when we have to go, hold ourselves accountable and go, wait, okay, this has been great, but I've got to now get back to it. right? I've got to now get back. I know. I didn't say any names, people. I did not say any names. What's Helen saying? Yes, it's a completely different ballgame when it's your own business. Really made me appreciate my old bosses. I know. And I had this boss, right? And we didn't, I wouldn't say we not that we didn't like each other. We were just completely different personalities and we didn't get along very well because of that, right? And she was an incredible boss. I didn't think that at the time. I really didn't. However, when she stopped being my boss, when she left, and another boss came in who was an absolute turd, I'm just going to say it the way it is, I really respected her for her leadership and how she held me accountable, I mean. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm a little bit of a rebel in case you don't know that, and I got pulled into her office that many times and told off the things that I'd done wrong, and rightly so, and held accountable, right? When we're in our business ourselves, it's so easy to get distracted. Even at a job, you know, you're getting distracted. Hey, get back to work, right? When you're at school, oi, get back to work, right? You find that too when I do distract myself. Ideas pop in easier. Yes, they do, Helen. That's right. So sometimes it's a healthy procrastination, but there's a big difference, right? There's a huge difference. So, and as you can tell, I haven't prepared any notes today. I'm just talking through this, and this is why I want to hear your opinions as well, guys. So something that someone mentioned, and I think there was a couple of you mentioned before, was having an accountability partner. Absolutely. This is something that with every single one of my clients I suggest is when they come into the Heart and Soul Business Academy or any of the courses that I provide, whether it's our signature course, which is our academy, or any of the other mini courses, I strongly suggest that people get themselves an accountability partner. Because this is someone that you can work alongside, right? And I would suggest that an accountability partner also be a business owner, maybe in a similar area to what you work in, but it doesn't have to be, right? It doesn't have to be in a similar area. But what an accountability partner does help you do is they help you celebrate your wins. We've got to do that. They help you commiserate when you're having a crap day, because we all have those, right? But what I love is often with an accountability partner, they can pull you up where you need to be pulled up, right? And this is where it's really important that you find your right accountability partner. What's Catherine saying? Having a business coach, they make me accountable to myself. Yes, absolutely. The person who is affected by time cheating is me, right? Yeah, fair enough. And it's finding a productive balance with your time. That's exactly right. With an accountability partner, I had a specific accountability partner. We were in a course together 7 years ago, probably 8 years ago now. It was 8 years ago. And I had this accountability partner until, due to personal circumstances, she closed her business down. We were accountability partners for 7 years, right? And it was probably one of the best things I ever did for my business, because we were in we were both in the coaching roles, but we had very different clients, very different outlooks. Like I was a business coach, she was like a mental health coach, to put it very simply. But when we had our Monday morning calls, every single Monday morning, except for when one of us were on holidays, right? It wasn't very often that we didn't have our accountability call. But we kicked each other's butt. As Claire says, is that when you kick my butt? Yes, it is sometimes, Claire, as your coach and as your accountability partner. But I loved that. More than that, it was that we could see things outside of each other's businesses because we were outside looking in. Sometimes we get so close to what we do that we can't see what's needed. And I was even reminded of that last night, of something in my business that I was asked, you know, do I have this? And my response was not yet. And in my mind, I went, you know what, it's probably time that I do create this. It's, you know, it's a landing page for something, right? And I thought it is time that I create this. And I honestly, I hadn't even given it a second thought until this person mentioned it. And I went, oh, that's a good point. So guess what's on my to-do list for next week? This person isn't necessarily an accountability partner, but it was someone who made a suggestion because they're outside of my business looking in. Who here's got an accountability partner? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Who's got one? Who's ever had one? Now, this young lady, she'd love that if she's watching this. Like I said, she went away. She stopped running her business. She shut it down, unfortunately. And so she's no longer my accountability partner. However, I'm in a new mastermind now and I have another accountability partner and it's great. And we're helping each other again, you know. You have beautiful Susie. And this is what I love, you know. I think with accountability partners, we need to be able to, like I said, it needs to be someone that you trust with your business, with sharing your ins and outs. You used to have one and you don't have one, Helen. There you go. Helen's looking for accountability partner, everyone. I check in with you, but my full-time accountability partner is Troy. Fair enough. Yeah, you do check in. Yes, we do check in. And I love that and appreciate it, Susie. Where was I going? I'm losing my train of thought. It doesn't take long. So an accountability partner, they can, like I said, celebrate your wins. They can commiserate with you. They can pull you up on things where you need to be pulled up on. They can see things from the outside looking in, give you suggestions. And this is why it needs to be someone that you trust to be able to open up to them, really open up, right? And there have been times when all I've needed to do is have a cry. Things are going shit right now. I need to have a cry. I need to have a bit of a wallow day, wallow in self-pity. But I want you as my accountability partner, if you see me wallowing in that self-pity, to pull me up on it. And Susie and Claire, you are two people that do this to me sometimes, well, actually all the time. All the time. Right? Oh, maybe we should start an accountability ring. Oh, I love that, Susie. That's friggin' brilliant. Yeah, I love that idea too. I didn't see that comment. I must have missed it. So it's a very, very powerful thing to do, is to have an accountability partner. One thing, and this is kind of like something that I'm very wary of, is I have had in the past accountability partners who then, how do I put this nicely? I've had people in my life who have then tried to, you are a genius, Susie, who have tried to tell me what to do in my business and how to do it in my business, but in a way that's not helpful. It's putting it in a really nice way. And so it doesn't really, like, it rubs you up the wrong way. Do you know what I mean? And so we really need to, and this is what I love about this 5-foot rope, you know, the 5-foot rope community that we're in with 5-foot rope TV, my community, the Heart and Soul community, all the other communities that I actively involve myself in. There's a reason for that, because all the people that are in these, for all the people that are in these networks, we are all supportive of each other, right? And we do help keep each other accountable. Can you see what I mean? I'd love to hear other people's thoughts on what I'm saying. Susie, you are a genius. Don't brag. We are always there for each other. We are. And that's the thing about it. So yes, it's about keeping yourself accountable. Yes, it's about finding someone or a couple of people who can help from the outside keep you accountable as well, right? And there was something else that you mentioned, Susie, that yes, another way that you can help keep yourself accountable in business, and that is to bring on team members and such as hire a virtual assistant, right? Now, let me say this. I'm just saying, I've got things in there. Let me just say this. My beautiful VA, Parme, the day I hired her became, whether she knew it or not, an accountability partner of mine. And we are a team. We are an absolute team, her and I. We work together. It's not me as the boss and her as the subordinate. It's not that. We are a team. And I love, absolutely love that Parme keeps me accountable. Like, there's, times when Parme has had to keep me accountable and say to me, well, don't you do that. That's my job. And what was it, something the other day? It was hilarious, actually. I said to Parme, I said, oh, look, I'm just going to go do this because it's easier. I was setting up an event in here in 5 Foot Road TV. And I said, oh, I'll go do that because it's easier. And Parme, God love her, just went, okay, well, I'll let you do my job then. And I sat back and I went, oh, you know what? She's right. I'm actually doing her job. But I love the fact that Parme, as our team member, feels free enough to tell me that, right? And there's times when Parme's had to remind me of things in our business. She helps keep me accountable when I forget to do things. And trust me, that happens a lot. I need an accountability partner. I now have my own life back. Oh, lovely, Janelle. Yes, you do need an accountability partner. Well, you're in the Heart and Soul Business Academy. You might be able to find one in there, my darling. We've got quite a few new people who've come into the academy lately. Parme is awesome. Hashtag Parme rocks. That's exactly right. So Parme herself is another accountability partner of mine. And, yes, there's times when I have to hold her accountable as well. So it goes both ways. And I think that's the really important thing with accountability partners, is that it does go both ways. Is that whether it's a virtual assistant, whether it's a business colleague, we need to be open to feedback. And constructive feedback. I don't like the word criticism, but it can, but constructive criticism, right? If you've said you're going to do something 1 week and then you don't get it done, then expect your accountability partner to say, well, why haven't you done it? Why not? And this is what I love about, my current accountability partner and my previous one, is if either of us didn't do something, and the why not was an excuse, we would pull each other up on it. It was like, well, that's just an excuse, right? You're in a pity party. The reason you didn't get it done is because you're in a self-pity party, or you're just making excuses, and there's no reason why you couldn't have done what you said you were going to do, right? It takes a little bit of getting used to. I'm not going to lie. A little bit of getting used to hear that from someone who's not running your business, essentially, or who's not involved in your business. But this, guys, is why we have accountability partners. This is why we have a team. When we have a team, when we hire a virtual assistant, right, it's important that we all work together, right, to support each other in business. So I hope this has all made sense to you guys. For those of you who've been watching this and you might not have an accountability partner, there's a couple of people in this chat who have said that they haven't got one. They might be looking for one, right? See if it's a good feel, a good match, and maybe match up with each other. Doesn't hurt, does it? This is what these communities are all about. It's supporting and nurturing and helping each other out in business. And yes, hashtag Roxanne does rule. That's Claire's virtual assistant. So speaking of VAs, guys, you may not know, but as well as the Heart and Soul Business Academy, which we have our birthday special with 10% off in November, plus an extra $1,000 worth of bonuses. If you're interested in that, comment Academy, and we'll be in touch with you. If you're watching this and you've heard the phrase virtual assistant, and you're thinking, oh my God, I really need help and support and accountability in my business, and you would like some help, we also have a virtual assistant service that we run, and there are several people watching this who we have helped. We've helped Susie get a VA, we've helped Claire get a VA, I've got a VA. I'm just trying to see who else has been watching. No one else yet. No one else watching live, but we've helped quite a few people in business get virtual assistants, and they are rock stars, right? And like I mentioned, they do help keep us accountable in business. That's part of why we hire them, why we work with them. If you are interested in our Heart and Soul virtual assistant services, pop the word assistant in the comments, and what's going to happen is we can jump on a Zoom call, just you and I. We can jump on a Zoom call. I can let you know how it all works. We are not an agency. Just to be clear, we're not a virtual assistant agency. We are a virtual assistant service. So we don't, there's only a simple cost of our service. We don't take any money, any extra money, right, than the cost of our service, and then you pay your virtual assistant. Okay, so we can talk more about that in a Zoom call. You can ask me any questions you have about working with the VA. All our VAs are sourced from the Philippines, and we absolutely adore them. As Claire's saying, Roxanne is her right arm. Yes, and I categorically say that Parme is my right arm too. She is absolutely incredible, and I adore her. And we've been together, Parme and I, for almost 3 years now. And essentially it was her, it was kind of a collaborative idea for us to start this VA service. And it's just flying. It's going great guns. It's actually going a lot better than what I ever thought it was going to do. Something I never anticipated to do in my business. Best thing I ever did for my business, I just increased Lay's hours by 50%, yay! And she'll be full-time in the new year. Oh my goodness, Susie, that is friggin' incredible. I'm so excited to hear that. Lay, we got to think of a hashtag for Lay. I can't. Lay the legend. I don't know. You'll come up with it, Susie. You're great with hashtags. So again, guys, if you would like more information on our virtual assistant services, pop the word assistant in the comments. We will be in touch with you to book that chat, so you can ask me any questions that you have. Guys, thank you for tuning in today. Again, if you're watching the replay, pop hashtag replay. I will see you again next Tuesday for some more incredible information on how you can grow your business. Have a great Thursday and have a great weekend when we get there, guys. See you later.